evening and welcome to the April 19th, 2016 meeting of the Petaluma Community Access Board of Directors. And at this time we have no secretary, so I'll need to ask at this time who would be willing to be our secretary this evening.
I'll take notes.
Okay, thank you, John. Will you please call the roll?
Okay, Cindy Thomas.
Here.
Kathy Rivas.
Here.
Neil Fishman has submitted his resignation, and Marcia Trent has as well. Mark Jaramillo.
Check.
Tim Williamson.
Here.
John Bertucci. Here.
Okay. And we do have a guest tonight. Dominica Giovannini. Dominica Giovannini. I'm practicing. Okay, I got it right. All right, so we'll address the reason why she's here later on in the agenda, but I wanted to recognize her. Thank you for being here. And we have nobody for public comment tonight, so we'll move on to the Board of Directors comments and announcements, if there are any.
I do.
Okay.
First of all, the City of Petaluma is thrilled to announce that we're rolling out a new application tomorrow called Open Counter. Some of the advanced PR is leaked out already. Go to petalumastar.com and get all the details. We're hoping that it's going to speed the ability for businesses that want to move within Petaluma or someone that wants to move into town. Makes things easier and the permit process just a little bit more friendly. Number 2, for Butter and Egg Days, free bus rides. Courtesy Petaluma Transit. Jump on the bus, save your parking, save your legs, save your ankles. Save money.
Is that from all points in the city?
This is
Petaluma.
all aboard, next stop.
Okay
Because
then.
I just got this today, so I didn't get a chance to even ask much about
I'm
it.
sure you could go online and find out.
Possibly,
All right.
Petaluma Transit on the city's website.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay. Everybody's got a copy of the agenda, I'm assuming, and has looked at it. And if there are no modifications to the agenda, can I get a motion to approve it, please?
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, is there anyone opposed? Okay, we got an agenda. Minutes of the March 15, 2016 meeting have been distributed last week. Anybody have any modifications to that? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I will move that.
Is there a second?
Second.
Does anyone oppose these minutes or abstain? I will abstain because, well, no, I'm not going to abstain. We don't have enough people.
You don't have to vote either.
All right.
You're basically asking Mark.
Yeah. Minutes are approved.
Approved.
Thank you.
You're holding up the whole thing.
Okay.
Sorry.
Treasurer's report. John, I guess you're going to...
Yes, being as we're without a treasurer at the moment, I can report that yes, we have our financials. They came in. We have a balance of 30,000 still in the account. We're 9 months in, that's 3 quarters. I started this week, or actually I started last week. I'm starting to do the fiscal year 2016-17 budget. And because we're doing major expenses with the capital expense fund, I do a tally of that. We have about 42,000 in the city capital expense fund. And we've spent about 40,000 on city hall cameras and server equipment. So we're going to deplete the city's CapEx fund. But we also have 20,000 in a restricted capital fund, and we have 50,000 unrestricted. So we're sitting on $112,000 that we can spend on this upgrade process. So we're not hurting financially. And
How long do you think this current upgrade will carry us to? Just a
We're-
guesstimate, cause the last one, it seems like it was, what, 4 years or so?
No, it was more.
Was
10.
it?
It was done before I came
It's
in.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah, the last camera upgrade
eight.
and then the gas.
it was done just before, there was a whole lot of stuff work done when we moved in booth.
Right.
Right, but the
we
cameras
had
and
new
stuff were done a couple
cameras.
of years before, so it's almost 10 years.
Almost 10 years, 10 to 8. And
Wow.
we're looking at.
That's a
well,
long time.
Yeah, we're looking at 3 with some of the equipment and 5 for most of it.
I just have one question.
Yes.
Just, what is contributions unrestricted under the radio, income?
Radio, that's where I've been
Donations.
a little dizzy because I've been
Mhm.
fighting with those numbers with Brooke
Mhm.
all day today. So contributions unrestricted,
Restricted.
that is a direct donation, like we got 250 from
Oh,
Tom
okay,
Baker.
okay.
We created a new one, 918 event income, that's for tickets and
Okay.
photographs, so.
I just
Yes.
was
That's new,
curious as to
that's
what
new.
it was.
That's new today. And, I gotta go through the numbers with her on these, cause we haven't got it all lined up so that we're assigning the expenses to
The
the right
radio.
number, the right
Okay.
account number.
Okay, okay,
But it's all there,
great.
and, we have a check signing card that 2 people are no longer on it. When we start to change, when we utilize the check signing card, nobody can sign until it's valid, but right now, the existing signers can still sign until we upgrade, so we'll leave it
Okay.
right where it is until we
Okay.
know where we stand.
Mhm.
I think that's it for the financials.
Okay, any questions? Okay, thank you, John. And then I guess you can just move right into your,
First I gotta take notes on what I just said. Radio accounts, 112K.
I lost my agenda, here it is.
Okay, well, we had a wonderful board retreat on the 26th of March. Thank you for coming, Dominica. And, it was a great choice of venue. I think we were all very, relaxed and, classy. I mean, I just felt happy after that meal. I don't know where they put it. And we also did our debrief on the TEP, the envelope please, that's on the agenda, so we can readdress that. Community outreach, we have a young intern now working from the high school, he comes in twice a week, and, tonight he's covering something at the Aquas. But he also covered the Petalumans of yesteryear at the Aquas, and, then, Mark and I covered the Chamber Argus Community Awards this last week. You were there, I thought, I saw you, yeah. Yeah, it was,
And I was there.
yes, I know that. But, yes, it was something, 2.5 hours. Whole range of emotions. Okay, so the city hall upgrade, I just told you that we had, spent about 40,000 already. Well, actually, we haven't paid for the server yet. The servers arrived, the bills arrived, but we gotta send some pieces back because they're not functioning correctly. So I'm not paying until we get functioning material.
How long before you think the total upgrade will be finished? And,
We hope to have it finished in June. Been working with Tim, access to City Hall, and Stephanie is coordinating that. There's been coordination issues with her and Zach because Zach is very busy. He's working a full-time job in San Francisco now, and he's moved out of his house here in Petaluma. But he's working more as a consultant, and Stephanie now has full charge to make this happen. And we've been dogged with some stinky little technical issues. We had a laptop that was kind of running our lower thirds, and it petered out on us yesterday. So Stephanie was over there today to replace it.
Petered nothing, it blew up.
I thought it kind of lost its wind and started limping.
It would.
Did it blow up?
It was pretty serious petering.
Okay, well,
What caused it?
And that is
Just age?
Software.
software, yes.
It's just what it does.
We also had some audio problems, so Stephanie redid the wiring, or tracked it and found a knob, a dial that might have gotten bumped when the cameras were being put in. We still have some technical issues that are more complicated with Granicus, but Tim is helping us with that, and they should be resolved with the upgrade. The upgrade will change the whole layout of the booth. We have a lot more room. And the radio status, that's a big one right now because we've gotten a whole new picture from the JC. They're not so hot about having our antenna anymore. That was kind of an exciting angle, and it was a good selling point because we were looking at a curriculum and a partnership, and it looks like they're having budget problems, and the person who was in charge of facilities for the whole JC is no longer working there, and they're not going to replace him. So the people working under him are pulling up the slack on a lot of different things, and are looking at our needs and our process and are saying, boy, this is a lot of work, do we really need to do it? So they're the ones who are kind of balking, because the work that is involved, we might have to get the state university or the state, we'd have to have a state architect look at the plans. We might have to get permit from the state of California as well as the city. All of this is trips to Sacramento for the staff at the JC. I think it really boils down to, is there anybody in the JC bureaucracy higher up who's gonna push it for us? And Rob is gonna get in touch with Matt, who's back in his seat, in his office at the JC, to try to ascertain whether it's just this department that is not interested in doing the extra work for us.
Well, we have a relationship with one of the board members at the.
Yeah, and I will check with Maggie, but I wanna let Rob talk to Matt first, cause if Matt says, yeah,
Yeah.
the teachers don't want any part of it, they're too busy and they don't wanna.
Is this Matt Pearson?
Matt Pearson.
Mhm.
So, we have another offer that we're following up on now. The people at Lagunitas Brewery were very interested in hosting our antenna when they heard about it. Now that push comes to shove, we've gotta bring the plans and the details to them to see if they're still interested. And also, we're reaching out to our engineer in Portland, who can give us the engineering specifications that the FCC requires, which is the range of the antenna has to be, it can't be right over somebody's house, because if they turn on their radio, they couldn't get KGO because our signal might disrupt it. So there's a buffer between the antenna and people's residences. We were within the margin of success at the JC, and I think we should be within.
Lagunitas, there's not a
There's
lot
not.
of houses around there? I'm
No,
No,
I
in
think
that
Yeah.
general area.
it's a formality. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
say
right,
we've got
right,
it nailed
right.
until we get an
Right.
engineer who says it's okay. Zach is reaching out to him, but we think he's not responding because we think he's in Las Vegas for that big NAB, National.
Association of Broadcasters.
Yes, there's a big convention in Las
That could
Vegas.
actually be a lot of fun having Lagunitas as partners. I mean, I could see them even building a booth out there for us,
Yeah.
and we broadcast some of their events.
Yeah, I don't see this as this is just more work, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's just a stag.
They love to throw money into fun things.
Yeah, I think would be good, and apparently it's a friend of Zach's who's working there in the marketing department pretty high up, who's very
And
excited
plus, they
about it.
really like the permitting department.
We should ask them tomorrow when they're all in really good moods on 420.
We got the FCC license in January of last year, which means the 18 months expires in June, but all we have to do is document our progress and say we need another 18 months on the building extension. So, as soon as I get a better grip on the JC Lagunitas possibilities, then I'm gonna reconnect with the other partners, see if they're still in the ballgame. And if they drop out, then we have a different
Mhm.
plan ahead. We have a radio signal, a bandwidth that we share with Napa and Sonoma. And that's because of, they have the same, they applied for the same license and they got the same bandwidth. If Sonoma were to drop out, we wouldn't have a problem because Napa's far enough away. And the way we've done it now is we shared a week, broke it up, so we're not 24/7. But if they've dropped out, or if they've moved their antenna, there are other possibilities. So that is my report.
Okay, good, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, wait, the real estate thing. Is that,
Oh, did I skip over it? Yeah, I skipped over it, it's in there, it's
Too
listed.
busy taking
Uh-huh,
notes, huh?
the real estate thing, yes. The landlord option on the back office. I don't know if you all saw the plan that I submitted to them. When it started out, our landlord is having trouble renting the back. They offered to rent it to us. Maybe we give up one of our offices and take that. So instead of having these two offices, we have two other offices. But I looked at it as more of an option to reduce our footprint here rather than expand. Certainly not to expand our rent, because we're very luxuriously set up here. So then they gave me a proposal saying we could take this side and half of the back. Okay, and you'd have to see the back to understand it, and it made sense. Well, I can show you the plans here. Okay, I have the plans here, I should. I'll get them because that'll help a lot. Okay.
We should have a quick recess.
Since you were the one screwing up your face with confusion, that was the plan that they proposed to us with the idea of blocking off this and opening up a door there to it. And that's what set my mind on fire, and I came up with two options. I'll show you. This was the plan they offered.
This is all existing, and this is the whole existing up here, so now they're talking about cutting off part of this and giving us this. Which gives us, access from here. Versus from here. Although, did you see that, Mark?
And basically what they came back with finally, after they looked at the options.
It looks like less square footage,
Which one?
their plan.
Their plan, yeah, no, it's about the
Maybe
same.
a blue one.
Maybe it's a little less. But Tim, if you're done with the double sheet there, I'll pass that over. I came up with these two plans. Either we move it into the back or we just take this side and the small rooms.
I thought we were giving up that side for the back.
Yeah, that was the first proposition. We gave up the back side for the whole back. I said that's too much. And then they
So
said,
that side.
yeah, we would definitely give up that side.
Okay.
And then there was the thought of, two different other options. At any rate, they said, if you gave up both of these, and we moved back there completely,
No.
no. They would want us to pay the rent here until they got a new tenant.
What?
And then
Only a landlord
then
can
they,
think like
basically,
that.
the bottom line it came down to is they've got these three office spaces metered separately. It would be too complicated. I mean, the heating is separate. It'd be too complicated for them to break it up. So they have an offer now that is, we could take the back all by itself when our lease is up here, or we could take this and the back, or we could take that and the back. But they're not gonna break the office spaces up. So at any way, we're looking at an increase in rent, which I don't think we need to add to our
And are they willing for us to stay as we are?
Yes, yeah, oh, no, that,
I mean,
We have a lease.
our lease is up in November of 2017.
But are they willing then at that time to still leave us with
Yeah,
what
I'm
we
su- yeah,
have?
I'm sure we have an option on staying where we are.
If that stays vacant till into
Yeah,
this
then it-
2017,
Then we
then
could go revisit all this, I think.
things are gonna change, yeah, but also we'll have some radio operation under our belt and have a better
Yeah.
forecast of our needs.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty exciting, 10-day period trying to figure out where we're gonna put the radio and the equipment and who's gonna be where. It was fun, actually. I enjoyed it. She apologized for opening a can of worms, but I said, no, it's a good process. But then they just basically backed off on the idea of bastardizing the three separate units. So, that's the radio business.
The obvious one is to give up that because it doesn't have a door to the back. That side, there is no back door to the back,
Yes, there is.
except through the bathroom.
Same as this.
Same as this?
But if we went to the back, we could break that wall out and just go straight on. Like we did to this door here, that was a wall for a long time.
I like it back there.
I do too, but
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see when we get to that point. We're not moving until this 2017. Unless they come back and say, we found somebody who wants this front office. There it is.
What did you say, November of 2017?
Yeah.
We're that far into our existing lease already.
I know. Okay.
Okay, that's that.
I think we covered everything now. Thank you for both of those reports, John. Okay, there's nothing on the consent calendar. There are no reports of committees, I believe. So we'll go into old business, item 10, number A, discussion and possible action on a butter and egg day parade planning. We have no plans, people.
No,
And
not-
it's Saturday.
Right.
And I haven't even seen the list of where our float is supposed to be parked, or, did you get that?
I haven't gotten anything in the mail unless it came here.
Just drive Cindy's truck and
Pardon?
drive Cindy's truck and wave.
That is the
Throw a
basic plan,
PCA,
and we've got 2 panels that we could
Yeah.
hold up ourselves, or do we hassle it?
Or we block it and just use our banner.
That's strange that you haven't done anything.
I know, haven't even thought about
Because
that.
You paid it and you filled it out, you
Right.
paid it with your own checks, you
Right.
probably have your information on it. Yeah, we've got the text, we're working very positively with them for the camera setup. Stephanie's been working with them, and we're gonna be down in front of.
Okay, I'll call Marie's office tomorrow.
You know, we did discuss this last meeting, the option to withdraw was open, and I still think it's worth considering. It wasn't until you heard the text that had been written that you decided it was worth doing, but that's all. We could get that text read into the announcing.
Can you think of anything creative, Mark?
I have a question.
With that steel
I have
mind
to
of
miss
yours?
it. I have to miss the eggs and butter, so I don't have any input.
You're missing it?
My question is since all the video is being done by PCA, are the banners gonna be all over anyway? As a sponsor?
Yeah, we've always covered the parade, it's one of the major events of the year. We're always doing it, and we're partners in the operation. The board has always tried to do a float. I know that since we've been here, we've always done a float. I don't know if they did it at all since '96 when we started. But the board takes on the float, and the staff takes on the video coverage, and we're always doing the video coverage. And that has become so important to the parade that we're considered partners, co-sponsors.
Well, I'm wondering if, since you're a partner and the banners are gonna be all over at the different parade stops, that
Okay.
could potentially be
And they
good
read,
enough
and they read the
coverage.
paragraph on us anyway.
Yeah, we give them a filler between floats, they can thank PCA for covering it.
I think that due to the, ability for the board to participate in this year's event, that we should consider withdrawing
This year.
this year. That doesn't mean we wouldn't do it again in another time, but basically, it's gonna come down to you, because I'm not here either. So I'm gone on Saturday, so
I
I
don't wanna
think,
do it by myself.
no, I think that we're at a point where we're just too shrunk down.
We're suffering from diminished
Yeah,
capacity.
Yes, and so I'll do it this way. I move that we withdraw from the Butter and Egg Day Parade, this year.
Do we have an action, is that an actionable item on the agenda?
Yeah, the only other thing I thought of is having George just walk it with a camera. I don't think he'd wanna do it by himself.
I just saw that George threw his back out.
Oh, he's not gonna be in the spirit then.
I don't know how well he's doing, but I saw that he was not going to be able to do his art tonight because he threw his back out.
That's not a bad idea, but without George, the idea that one of our camera team could be wearing a PCA t-shirt and walking in the parade to get face shots. That
We
would-
do that anyway.
We could do that anyway, and it doesn't
Mhm.
need a float. And, we have done massive operations where we're there down there at 8 o'clock doing the cow chip throw and all sorts of stuff. We did interviews, and it was a big year that year.
Well, then,
Yeah.
they could be reading this, when they read our part in the script.
Yeah, I think we have a motion on, that needs a second, and we
Is
move
it-
forward.
You wanna
with
withdraw your motion?
Is it a,
I can withdraw my motion.
does the
Okay.
agenda have action on
that. No,
What?
it? Does
No,
the
I think-
agenda have action on it?
Yes.
Yes,
It's
it does.
possible
Yeah.
action.
No, I don't think we need to withdraw the motion, I think we're withdrawing the float, and we're
No,
expanding the
we
coverage.
have to, we can't withdraw the float and have and keep our spot. They'll move it up.
Oh, I don't think it needs a spot, it's just somebody's walking in on the
No,
street.
but I'm thinking
We
in
have it-
terms of when
okay, so
our
that's a-
spot comes
that's a
in front of
different thing.
the,
So we redesign our spot, withdraw the truck, and say all we're gonna
And
do is
just
have
have
a camera person,
yes.
or two camera people maybe. But George isn't free, he was great, he was hopping.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just an observation that I had today.
Yeah, but if we had a couple of camera people, that's better than absolutely nothing. And the crowd loves it.
Mhm.
The crowd loves to ham it. They all scream and yell
Mhm.
when those cameras are in front of them.
Especially the cameras,
Yeah.
especially
Who
the
would-
crowd near the beer garden.
Well, that comes back to the staff then, are we talking, or are we gonna get two volunteers to do the camera work?
Well, you said you have one roamer anyway.
Well, I could probably work out, we have one camera that we're gonna have floating, but we were also talking about putting on the top of Rex Harbor. And we're gonna be in front of the museum this year. So Stephanie's working on that, I could talk to her, I could explain the option that we wanna get this camera in the parade, shooting the reverse angle of the audience, which is a nice shot, wearing a PCA t-shirt. I don't think you need to have a float number to do that personally, but you might talk to
Okay,
Marie.
okay. My idea is to have the person in our float lineup and walk the parade. And this will be announced from each of the locations as those cameras are there, and people know that it's us filming.
Okay. Do you
That's
and-
that's what I'm proposing.
You and I?
We could?
Yeah.
I would do that with you.
Okay.
Is Mario available at all? He did it with us last year.
Yeah, we could draft some people. I don't know about the cameras. I could use my personal camera, because I don't know, I'll have to check on how many cameras we have tied up. Okay, so. I think.
I would like to keep the continuity of participating every year. Does that make sense?
I think that's a perfect idea as long as you're. As long-
Simplify it, remove the motor vehicle, 2 people,
As long as you have the 2 people that'll do that, I think that's a great idea.
I would do that,
Okay. And it could be 3 people if we get more.
right.
Well, then I think the next step would be to talk to Marie and see if that floats, because that might not constitute a float for them, 2 people walking. Is that acceptable to their planning?
There's a lot of groups that pay the money to have 1 or 2 people walking.
Okay, then
Yeah,
that's,
but I will talk to her, I
if you
have
confirm
no,
with her with
to
that,
call her, yes.
and that we're redesigning this.
Yeah.
I think the other concern I had is that if we are shifting our annual rhythm to put on a fundraiser just before the Veterans Day
Mhm.
annually.
Mhm.
So it is gonna be an exhaustive process next year as well. But if this works, then it becomes a really stripped down presence. Just
It-
formalize it.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it was my feeling that people were paying more attention to George and the other cameras than they were actually paying
Anything,
attention.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you will check with Marie to see if we can field 2 or 3 camera people
Okay.
to walk in our slot, and where is our slot?
Thank you for going along with me on this. Oh, do we feel like we have to vote on this?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
The
either.
planning is on, no, we would have had to vote to withdraw it from.
Right. Thank you for, being flexible and withdrawing your,
No problem.
okay, we saved the baby again. Once again, we saved the baby, as John would say. Okay,
Can't be
We are
afraid of
done.
Disney shirt all the way around that day.
you
Did
wanna
you
walk
hear
with
that?
us?
I can't be in the parade 'cause my friend's coming from out of town, but I'll wear the shirt around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get you a shirt.
Okay, we're done with old business, so item 11, new business, item A, discussion and possible action on board resignations. We've received the resignations for our treasurer Neil Fishman and our secretary Marcia Trent. I've seen them, does anybody else want, here, I'll read them. This is from Neil. Dear John, please use this email as my formal resignation from the PCA board effective immediately. It has been a lot of fun. I'm happy to be leaving when things are going so well for you and PCA. The contacts with adjoining cities, the radio station, outreach to local schools, the solid finances all point to your solid leadership and a bright future for PCA. I agree with you, Neil. It was a pleasure working with you. Oscar night was a blast. Count me in next year. Also count me in to keep my membership. Best regards to you and the board, Neil Fishman.
Thanks.
Do we wanna read the other one and, cause I imagine we're gonna accept them, I'm hoping.
Is it just as good?
Oh, yeah.
To PCA board members, executive director, and other concerned parties from Marcia Trent, to all concerned, it is with sincere regret that I must resign my seat and position on the Petaluma Community Access Board of Directors effective today, April 1, 2016, due to circumstances beyond my control. Thank you all for your kindness, interest, and for giving me the opportunity to be of service on the PCA board. I have enjoyed working with you and sharing in your commitment to and activity for Petaluma's community media. I look forward to seeing you all again on occasions when I can be of some help to PCA. Until then, you have my warmest regards and best wishes, Marcia Trent. 2 very nice letters from 2 great people who did a lot for us, and I wanna thank them publicly for that. So I think we should kindly, move to accept their resignations and wish them well.
I so move.
Okay, I'll second it. Everybody in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstentions? Okay. Thank you again, Marcia and Neil.
Okay.
Okay, 11B, discussion and possible action on board appointments. And we have here with us tonight Dominica, who is has applied for a appointed position on our board of directors. Thank you, Dominica, for your interest. And John has copies of one copy or multiple
Well, I
copies?
gave you one of these at the lunch,
Yes.
and it would help to fill it out.
Sure.
eventually.
Oh,
No rush,
okay,
that's all.
so,
Otherwise, but you understand what you're getting into.
Yeah.
and-
okay, you understand what you're getting into, then could you, since we don't have anything, could you briefly tell us why you're interested to be on our board?
So I am interested, I met Marcia a few months back now already. I'm interested because I think what PCA offers aligns really closely with the goal of my company and a lot of the work I do. As far as getting the word out about media, local voice, the truth. And I have a long history working in nonprofits, pretty much my entire career. So I'm luckily at a point with my own business that I can start taking on these kind of roles, so that's why I'm most interested. Seems to me like a strong nonprofit, so I'm very picky. So,
That's nice to know, we feel lucky,
Honored.
yeah. Okay, thank you for that, and does anybody have questions for Dominica? Seeing none, do we have a motion to appoint Dominica to?
I have a point of order.
What?
We have an absent elected seat. Is it an option to appoint Dominica to take that seat?
Okay,
Or let me just explain that we have an election, annual election that comes term in September, October. And if you were appointed on a one-year appointment, we would reappoint you to get you on the right cycle, so that we don't have to remember that, oh, you expired.
right. Expired. You throw me
Your
out.
seat expired. But we also have an elected seat that was vacated by Neil, and it's a 3-year seat. He was elected in 2014, so it would expire next September, 2017. So if you were to take that, it would lighten our load for our election, and you'd have a couple of extra months. And we have the escape route. You know, if you were elected for 3 years, like Neil, you could still leave whenever it fit. So it's not a heavy burden. But I don't know, is that an option?
It's not. It's not.
No, it's not.
I
I'm not
just
signing
thought it
your
was
life
funny
for
that you said
3 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's the main thing, is whether we wanna do this for 3 or 1, but is that an option? It's to appoint her to that.
we have no seats expiring this year?
No. You were elected in 2015, you expired in 18. Kathy and Neil were going to,
Okay.
and Mark goes to 2014. So we have 3 seats expiring in,
17.
yeah, and actually, we
And
were
we worked
supposed,
that
our bylaws say we're supposed to have 5 elected seats, and we only have 4 at this point. So, maybe it's just easier to appoint for 1 year. An appointment for 1 year, and we'll review where we are in September, because then somebody can run for a 3-year seat, then they get off the
Right.
cycle.
And in fairness to you, that gives you an easy out on your, and you wouldn't have to resign. I mean, I made the assumption that you would wanna try it on for a year, but you're
Well-
certainly welcome to take the longer term.
I mean, I think that works, and the appointment for a year is probably good, a good start.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
okay. Well,
Alright.
it's an appointment for 6 months.
Or
6 months.
Yeah, and then we will
And-
revisit in
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
okay.
Okay, so,
Do we have a motion to,
I so
appoint?
move, that we appoint Dominique for
Okay,
a
so we
6
have a
months
motion to
appointment.
appoint Dominica to a appointed seat. All those in favor?
I hope we don't have a
A
second.
second.
Oh, I second, do I have a second?
Mark did.
Mark did,
I second that motion.
Got it?
with that steel mind of yours.
No, it's steel trap.
Oh, steel trap,
Never mind.
steel trap over mine. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, congratulations, you're in.
Yay.
Well,
Now we lock you down.
Now you can.
Joy, it worked.
Okay,
Good for
now here
6
comes the
meetings.
painful part for you. The next agenda item under new business, 11C, discussion and possible action on board committee assignments. Okay, we're putting you to work right away. All right, so the way that it looks now,
Is it
with Marcia and Neil gone, is the executive committee only consists of myself and Kathy right now. The finance committee is just Kathy. The nominating committee is just Kathy. The policies and procedures
Lori.
is Mark and Tim. And the outreach and development is Mark. I know.
I was just
Come on,
wanted to
Mark.
point out,
Did you wanna be on outreach?
I just wanted to say
I wanna do
outreach,
some reaching.
it always surprised me that we didn't use the outreach committee for the fundraiser. Could have been. So it's kind of a dormant committee. The key ones are the
Resident
finance,
builder.
the finance and the nominating. Those are the key ones we can't get through a year without.
Okay, well, what we can say is whoever wants to work on the next fundraiser has to be on outreach and development.
We could use the outreach and development committee to drive the fundraiser.
So,
Is there not something that I remember from the past that we ask each board member to participate at least on 2 committees?
Yeah. That is a requirement.
So what's entailed in the finance committee?
I run the numbers by you before I present it to the board.
It's
And I,
quite easy.
it's,
You mean the budget?
Yeah,
the
just,
budget.
okay.
That's basically what it is, the budget, and we have an audit. The chair of that committee, or the treasurer, which we have to replace next item, the treasurer is the one who signs off on the audit. We used to have to do a full audit every year, now we have a 5-year contract with the city, we do 2 full audits and 3 financial reviews.
Okay.
I do all the work, but we need a treasurer to sign off, and I do appreciate being able to bounce my ideas off people, so it's a good process to hammer out the budgets and bring it to the board for approval. And the nominating committee is, meets maybe 3 or 4 times in the process of the election, which usually starts in May or June. We have to do we have to set the calendar, we have to announce publicly that we have open seats available so that anybody in the public can throw their hat in the ring. Then the nominating committee has to nominate our selections for the open seats. The full board does the recruitment, but the nominating committee vets them. Assuming we had 2 seats open and we had 2 candidates that the nominating committee nominated, somebody else, a member could get into the ballot by having a petition signed by 10 other members and then get on the ballot. But we haven't had a rush on filling the seats. Well, we did for a while, and that's a whole other story. But that meets like 3 or 4 times between June and September to keep the process on the track.
well,
I think the whole board should be on the outreach and development. If that's gonna be part of the fundraiser.
Yeah.
The whole board should be part of that committee, and
okay,
then the others,
I'll be on outreach and development, and then you will also,
I
Kathy?
will.
I'll definitely be on that one.
Okay.
You wanna be on that one also?
These are standing committees, right?
No, the standing is the executive committee and the nominating committee.
And the
And the
finance
finance
committee.
committee.
Okay, cause standing committee, if it has more than a quorum of board members, has to be a posted meeting. In fact, I think that's
Mhm.
also true for an ad
Yeah,
hoc.
but outreach, no, I don't think so. Outreach, well,
You check that
If
one.
if we have a quorum
If you
on a
have
committee, then it has to be posted.
if you have a majority of board
Right.
members, it has
So
to
we
be.
would have to start posting and
So maybe-
recording minutes for outreach and development, which I
Which-
don't think is a bad idea, cause I pushed for that last time.
We, when we did the fundraiser, I think every meeting we did have an agenda and we did have minutes.
Minutes, we did.
Now,
I have-
I'm not sure
I don't know
that we
about, the
posted
minutes
them.
weren't regular, but and the agenda was not posted, but we did have the agendas.
The minutes were
Oh,
regular.
yeah?
Mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
I have all those.
Mhm.
Okay.
Because I typed them.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to start posting the meeting. Yeah.
Which is not a big deal.
That's fine,
Yeah.
okay. Alright, so for sure, we're adding Kathy and myself to outreach and development and Domenica. Okay. We're pretty well set with policies and procedures, that's not a real
No.
busy thing right now, so I'm gonna pull off of that one.
Okay, so that stays Tim and Mark.
And I will jump on the nominating committee with Kathy.
Okay.
Oh, you know, Kathy won't be on it this year. If her term is coming up.
No,
No, my turn is go up to 17.
Oh, 17. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's good.
Okay, so I'll jump on that one with Kathy. And then the finance committee is just Kathy. Are you interested in finance?
I mean, you can put me wherever is
I think that would be-
most
yeah, it's-
useful.
Could make her
Yeah.
treasurer and secretary too.
Oh, yeah. You only
I
volunteer
think
for
no-
me for all those things when I'm not here.
While you're still here, you still have a word.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that makes sense.
Okay,
That looks good.
so it looks pretty good now. Well, kind of. Okay, so the recommendation that I would make for a motion is that our readjustment and appointments be the following. Executive Committee, Thomas Rivas. Finance Committee, Rivas and Dominica, cause I say that name better than the last name. I'm sorry. I'll practice. On the nominating committee, Rivas and Thomas. Policies and procedures, Williamson and Jaramillo. Outreach and development, Jaramillo, Rivas, Thomas, and Dominica. So, does
I
anyone wanna
second.
make that motion?
I'll so move it.
Okay, and a second? I'll
I'll
second it.
second that
Okay.
motion.
Okay, is
Wait,
anyone
which one?
opposed?
Who seconded it?
Mark.
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 Mark. So Mark
Anyone
seconded.
opposed?
Jaramillo.
Okay,
And Kathy.
okay,
I
so
move.
it stands.
Okay, moving right along.
Okay, discussion and possible action on board officers for item 11D.
Which is the executive committee.
Yes. And the executive committee being just Kathy and I right now, because we have no secretary and no treasurer, is an issue. So, does anybody wanna make a recommendation as to how we might?
I'd like to make a recommendation.
Okay, surprise.
I'd like to move myself from vice chair to treasurer.
Okay,
That doesn't give us any more on the executive committee, but it switches it a little bit.
okay, but, okay.
So that would-
My concern would be that if, I wasn't here,
Mm-hmm.
who would chair the meeting and,
We're running out of people, we might not be able to have one. It could be academic.
Could you help with that if
I'll,
need
I'll,
be?
I'll fill in as temporary chair,
Mm.
Vice chair.
but no
Here,
official,
here.
no official title.
Unless you wanna be vice chair, then you're gonna have to run the meetings.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm capable. Maybe after a couple more times I'll follow
All
the
right.
lead.
No,
That's fine.
I think that's what
My
it's.
still trap was leaking.
I think it is too. So,
We talked about.
alright. So first we have to approve Kathy withdrawing from her seat of vice chair. And I move that we allow her to do that.
Second.
Okay. Is anyone opposed to that? Okay, now, we need to elect a treasurer.
I elect Marsha.
You're
Kathy.
nominating
Kathy.
Kathy?
Who's gonna nominate Kathy anyway?
Okay.
I nominate Kathy.
Thank you.
He
Are
does
there
need to
any
do it.
other nominations for vice chair, for treasurer? Are there any other nominations
that's
for
too
vice
bad.
treasurer? Are there any other nominations for treasurer? Okay,
Freudian slip.
seeing none, all those in favor of Kathy for treasurer, say aye. Aye. Anyone
And I-
opposed?
I abstain,
No.
I don't have to abstain for my
You
own,
can
vote
vote
for
for yourself.
myself?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
Okay.
just like Donald Trump did today.
Okay, so it's unanimous, you're
Okay.
the new treasurer,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, but not as kids.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking secretary earlier,
Mm-mm.
that's why I asked you.
Why did I
about
not
that.
say Kathy?
No.
Alright,
Why'd you call her Marsha?
that makes sense to me now, yeah. Okay,
So I just need to see, I've got
I got nervous
Cindy
under pressure.
moved and Mark seconded the resigning. Mark moved and who seconded?
Mark
Oh,
nominated
Mark nominated.
Nominated.
Okay.
Kathy,
So the one was just,
right,
okay, then Mark nominated and it was approved or unanimous.
okay, so. Off to the races, Kathy, your item 11E, discussion and possible action on fundraiser, the envelope, please.
Oh, wait. We had some other, committees, no, we already did
No.
committees,
Mhm.
but we still have.
And Tim
Tim is,
is vice chair, as a
Temporary.
temporary vice chair.
and I'm the
No,
temporary
occasional,
secretary.
No.
occasional
I thought-
interim temporary.
Well, he said he didn't want to be elected vice chair.
So we are then leaving the vice chair
Yep.
temporarily open.
We're leaving it open
And
because
we're
it's a
open and you'll
conflict
just have
of
to
And,
interest
trust me.
for
and
him.
Tim will step in.
And Tim will,
Okay, and I think we should define.
for the
this-
purpose of facilitating the meeting,
Continuity.
yes.
And I would suggest we do the same with the secretary. I will fill in until we are,
Okay,
the
Now we're
board is
loaded.
okay.
substantial. Unless Mark wants to be secretary. We'll get back to you on that. I'll
I'll
take,
have to
Alright.
I'll
practice
take
a
it over
couple
in this
times.
transition period. I think we,
You have that form you can just send out, yeah? The form that we filled in last time I did it?
Mhm.
yeah,
You
and
could
I,
just email that to me and
my fingerprints are over all the agendas and all the minutes. But it does constrain my ability to follow the discussion if I'm taking notes,
Mhm.
if you've noticed. But, this is an interim period, I think we should, we have one more seat that was recently vacated, but we really should find two more people. It should be a seven-person board, so we do need two more people. Hopefully that will be resolved by September, so I'll carry us until then.
Okay.
Secretary.
I'll conference with the universe about it and get back to you.
Thank you,
Okay.
that would be great.
I
Wow,
reached
you're
out,
just-
I reached out to Matt.
You're just a spectrum
okay.
of, okay,
Emotions and feelings.
11E, the envelope, please, Kathy.
Okay, well, we went, Cindy, John and I went to the Petaluma Hotel. It's a fabulous venue. The only issue that we really saw was the fact of where would we put a screen to show the event. There was a couple of options, possibly putting up one big screen or the possibility of having several large TVs around the room. They were very interested in having us. They're, I think, very interested in working with us to try and make it happen for us as well as for them. So that's one possibility. The other was, we talked about, Hermanson's Hall, and, they have some, can accommodate 300 people, which is certainly within our,
Is that off Western,
yes.
Yeah.
next to
Mhm.
Ray's?
Yes.
Cross the street, yeah.
They do have a kitchen, and as well as the Petaluma Hotel, we would have to bring in our own caterer in order to, facilitate that.
Which adds flexibility.
Mm-hmm. And Hermanson's does have their own dishes, but we probably, on our last event, we used paper plates, so that's probably not an extreme issue. We talked about Herzog Hall, which accommodates 500 people, which we decided we thought was a little large for what we're looking at right now. We also looked at, the Petaluma Women's Club, which is on, B Street.
Mm-hmm.
It will accommodate 200 people. It has a stage and it has a kitchen. The Petaluma Women's Club, when I talked with them and got their this is their rental, information, and, they charge, let's see. Well,
Like-
there's,
Yeah, I
Right.
kinda did the math on everything that we
Mhm,
would have to
mhm.
do for that, and it's a little less than $1,000. Yeah, cause they wanna charge you for
Er-
setting up, and then they wanna charge you for the actual event,
and then they want someone there at 7 o'clock until you close at 10 or
Right.
11 to make sure you don't play loud music and keep all the neighbors awake.
and then you pay extra for the kitchen.
Kitchen. Hermanson's Hall is, $800, which does, include, as far as, cleanup goes, they'll do the tables and chairs, we would have to basically clean up. And it does include their kitchen. We would have to get our own linens and that type of thing. Originally she said, oh no, we don't have any, we're already booked, and I said, on a Sunday, and she said, oh, I thought you were looking at a Saturday. So they do have days open there as well.
Where was it last year?
Last year was at the Mystic Theater,
Oh,
and the Mystic Theater is still an option for us as well. We'd have to make a few adjustments to, how we facilitate all of that this year. It was a little bit, we had some issues that were a little bit more, challenging.
Yeah, we lost the bar for one thing.
Right,
They took over the bar and we didn't make any money on the bar.
and either of the three that we talked about, we could do our own bar. So that is somewhat of
A
a
lot of
benefit to us. And I know that we could get Neil to do that for us. I know Neil would come back and
Maybe
do
a
that for us.
celebrity bartender. Could
So,
put his name on the
that's
list.
kind of a rough draft of where we're at this point. I think that we sort of need to make some decisions on what we wanna do to get a place reserved if we're going to go forward with it.
Yes, and
So I don't know if you have other things that you wanna add to,
let me get one more piece of paper I forgot to print. Luckily, my office is right next door.
So was the bar situation not worked out with them beforehand?
it
There was no
was,
communication on that, or
it
What
was,
happened
just
was
curious.
the
what?
prices of the drinks changed from between the time that we met with them and planned everything and the actual event. What happened was, what they said happened was when the minimum wage rate went up in January, they had to adjust their pricing to accommodate that.
Which was 10-15 cents a drink.
No,
Mm.
it was more, it blew
No.
our $3 ticket scheme out of the water.
Mhm.
It didn't
Yeah.
work anymore. And then it became a $5 ticket, and then there was problems with that because people,
It was too
too
expensive
expensive. So our scheme fell apart, and it fell apart like 2 days before
for
the
the
event.
event.
That's
And
cruel.
the final decision at the event was, you guys take the bar, and we'll just,
Can you tell us how much, what the sales value was for drinks? Because there were a lot of times I walked out into the lobby and there was nobody at the bar, so I'm not even, was
Do you
it
have
the
that?
cocktail service taking care of that, or was
They
it
took
that
care
people
of it.
weren't
I think
drinking
you-
that much?
Kathy asked them that question. What did they think they made on the, didn't you? I have a handwritten note on it.
Right, I,
I have somewhere too.
I'm trying to think,
So I propose no alcohol and marijuana only.
Different kind of party.
I propose the inverse.
Wait, it's not 420 yet, that's a 420 joke,
That's
right?
tomorrow. Sorry.
Or just both, it's fine.
Or both.
Just both.
I don't like mixing.
Pick your poison.
I don't like mixing because there's too much cleanup. There's marijuana poison. You smoke it first,
Edibles.
then it's not.
No, I don't have it.
I don't have it here either. I might
know
have,
I had it
I
somewhere.
might have
had
to
it,
look
I could
through
find it.
some of my stuff, I would have
Do you
to.
recall if it was an impressive number, or?
Was it
wasn't
over
an
a
impressive
1,000?
number.
I didn't, because I didn't think people drank that much, it was a Sunday night and,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know that there was actually a,
Are the Oscars always on Sunday?
Yes.
So,
Okay, so, what do you wanna decide first, Kathy?
well, first I wanna decide, are we gonna do it?
I say yes.
Okay.
I'm not the only one though, what do you?
I,
You didn't even go. And you said you were going.
Oh, sue me.
Deal
Can't
with
afford
it.
it, I can't afford to.
I think our learning experience was immense.
You know you're not gonna lose.
No, I think it's a conceptual, we need to define it conceptually a little differently. I don't think the event is gonna be the money maker. The event is a high profile, reminder to the community that we're putting on a radio and we need them to support it. It's almost like a thank you party for our supporters, which we should seek all year long. And I think the model that I like is the Richard Gaston gave us $1,000 while he was in Iceland doing a photo shoot because he wanted his logo in our program.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we create an event where the program has value, people will pay to get their logo in it. They don't even have to come. You don't have to raise the money from the people who do come. It becomes a party, which is why I think it has to be elegant, it has to be really special. That's why I think the hotel would be really nice if we can work out the problems. And that it kind of drives a year-long funding scheme with a PayPal on our website and enlists people with good press. We got a lot of good press. You know, we took in about $8,700, and we spent about $7,200. So we made a profit of about $1,500. But
I bet if you were really super persistent, you could cut that budget.
Oh, we could cut the budget and we could get more if we had we didn't sell raffle tickets and we didn't sell drink tickets. So we could, you know, theoretically we could get our income up to 12,000 instead of 8, and our costs down to 5. So then we're talking about making 7,000, which would be would be worthwhile. But I think, especially for the next time, with all the lessons we learn, we need to formalize what we learned and just really define this as a quality event rather than a quantity event. So a smaller venue, a better experience will pay off.
So are you saying higher ticket prices?
Now, the ticket prices,
Mm-mm.
well, we shouldn't have two. We don't need
We don't
a
need
general and a
two,
VIP.
right.
Everybody should be the same level, the same.
Well, actually, I thought about this, and it was about getting people in there and identifying who was who in the VIP section, and that kinda
That
got
was
screwed
hard,
up.
that was hard.
What we could do is pre-sell the VIPs, and the night of, allow, general admission after we've served most, the food
I think you
and-
guys could get away with having a high price VIP and then a general admission
Yeah.
that's more
That way our-
reasonable for the community.
our VIP tables would be already filled, and there would be no.
Well, and we talked about possibly, having tables, like say, I'll use the $75 amount, having 10 people at a table would be $750. Okay, maybe some company wants to buy that table, and we give it to them for $700 instead of $750.
discount.
Or even more, and you put their brand in the flyer.
Exactly, exactly.
And charge them
Or they
$1,500.
charge them $1,500 and put their, right.
Because the sponsorships are huge, and if you get them like now, then you can put them on all the collateral, and that's a huge. It's like free. I don't say it's free money because people got to work, but
Okay, so it sounds like we do wanna have the event. I think we're all in agreement
Mhm.
that we wanna have the event,
Okay,
so.
and if I could just stop, you asked about the drinks. The drink tickets, according to what she gave me here, was 54 drinks at $8 each, was $432.
Okay, and then there
That's
were
not
other
record
people that
breaking.
purchased drinks. So, cause I'm trying to kind of calculate, if we did drink tickets,
Well,
what
I
would
asked,
that look like?
right, I asked her, originally I asked her, is that drink tickets or is that drinks? Because drink tickets, there was 3 drink tickets for each VIP person that gave them 1 drink. So I wanted to make sure that we were not counting tickets versus drinks. And so this is supposedly 54 drinks, which
But
is
that's $8.
at $8.
That's right. And 3 tickets equaled $8.
Right.
So that's not
Just
tickets,
right.
that's drinks.
Drinks. So
Yeah,
54
I
drinks
guess
was
what
not
I'm
very
trying to
many.
get at is how many drinks they poured that night. I wanted to know how much people drank. Cause if we sell drink tickets, this is gonna be the number that's gonna tell us how much we're gonna make on the drink ticket
Mhm.
theory. But we can figure
Figure
that
that
out
out.
later.
Right.
I will
figure
make
that out
one
later.
note
So
for
we
you
are
guys.
moving
Yes,
forward.
yes.
with the-
You may need to get a temporary ABC.
Exactly.
nonprofits can get it. It's like $45.
Yeah.
Well, depending on where we go, we need to talk about
Yeah.
that probably next.
Mm-hmm.
The hotel probably doesn't have a
The
license.
hotels.
What I don't like about the hotel is the pillars in the dining room are gonna be view obstructing. There's gonna be a lot of view obstruction unless we had a
Several
screen
TVs.
on every wall.
Which if we could find somebody who could donate, or somebody who would rent screens for big events, and they give us a good deal,
And have 4
Screens and projectors.
4 or 3.
Okay, now we have to factor in the expense of video equipment and audio equipment
Mhm.
probably as well. Did they have audio set up there?
At the
At
hotel.
Mystic or at the hotel?
Do they have, I can't remember, did we
Probably
see
not
audio
that,
feed?
probably not that type, not that quality.
Yeah,
At the hotel you're talking about?
Yeah.
yeah, so we'd need to
So-
rent audio, video
So
equipment,
anywhere that we go, other than the Mystic,
right,
we're gonna have to do that,
Incur some cost.
correct? I mean, am I
Absolutely.
right?
World of Stereo sponsorship.
We might be able
Okay,
to get sponsors.
maybe
yeah.
since we decide we're gonna do it and we don't have another place, we should say we should keep the Mystic as our target.
I
venue.
think we should keep the Mystic just so that it's in,
We
people
know-
get used to us. I think if we move it, it's gonna look like something different, not same
What
thing we
can we
did
do?
last year.
I will say that not having to deal with ABC or alcohol or any of that stuff is actually not that
And
bad
it
of a
was
deal.
awesome having that huge screen there. It was Nice.
It was movie theater-ish. Maybe
Yep.
you could have did the birds thing.
Well,
So that's the old theater, right?
and
I mean, that's where
in the theater,
birds
we
was.
could set up
debut.
more tables
In the
in the
front.
front, in that open space
Yeah,
that we had.
absolutely.
You
I mean,
could have
because
your
we-
10 top tables, you know, for 10 people down in that area. We
Mhm,
rethink that. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll have George, so we'll just have to figure out another corner for him or something.
Still haven't seen his painting yet, he's
Yeah.
gonna, he wanted to
I
finish
wondered
it.
about that.
We did finish the
So-
thank you video, it's online, and, we're gonna get it on I gotta submit it to Thomas when we get
And is the, has the advertisement for the Whole Foods, is theirs going on the TV now?
It's not on TV yet, but it's on the internet.
Okay.
Did you have to pay for the Mystic? Just
Yes.
for them?
Mhm.
Why don't we have it on TV yet?
Cause we're having all sorts of troubles
They-
with our
We
servers
paid,
and uploading and
this was our
it's
final
a stand
bill.
up. I just
We
have to
paid
pay it.
$500 and they, forgave $500. Normally they charge $1,000
So they,
for the,
oh, and they
For
provided all
nonprofit.
this food.
right, they did all the food.
And the drink tickets, they were just,
They charged us accordingly to,
but you pulled that out, right? So that day of you said no drink tickets and that was not in the final amount,
Right.
correct?
and then, this was just extra, linens and the rental
We-
ticket
Oh, you
sales.
went the marquee though?
That was part of our,
Oh, it
also
was, so they
part
did
of
do
the-
it? Oh,
Yes,
okay.
yes. Yeah.
Did you see it
Maybe
right up in
after
the
your
paper?
event, they
did.
have some excitement about it now too. Maybe they'll see some value in it this time.
And these were,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw these. Did you?
Yeah, I saw
You
everything.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't have to redo the artwork, you
And then
just
this
have to
was-
modify it.
this was our,
I have some questions I'll ask
It would
after.
make it
when
real
we get out
easy.
there.
Sure.
Great.
sure,
Yeah, we wouldn't have to modify anything but the date if we keep the venue also.
So you're saying you think we should go with the Mystic? Is that what everybody's feeling?
Unless this other research brings in some really mind-blowing alternative.
And they're willing to have us back. They
Mhm,
said
mhm.
that,
The location is
I
it's
like,
the best location.
it gives that theater feel.
And it's a given now, it's a known quantity, we can adapt to it. If we go into a new quantity, we've got a whole new learning
Mhm,
curve to
mhm.
figure out.
And we know our downfalls and we can certainly improve on those.
Yeah, maybe you'll be able to focus more on your profit centers
Yeah.
and what is gonna work, what's not
These
gonna
were
work.
our champagne
Like the alcohol
glasses
obviously is not
that
that big of
were
a deal, right?
donated by Whole Foods.
I think you
It'd be
can
nice to-
negotiate a percent of the bar or something like that, but it just needs to be decided in advance.
So they provided all of our glasses
Oh, that's cool.
as part of their, and then they did all of our swag bags, for the event. And they are willing to participate again.
well, it sounds like
So-
we've made a decision.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to vote on it. It has nothing to do with the organization, but
I'll vote anyways.
Now you could vote on, defining the outreach and development committee as the organizing force for the annual.
My only other thought
think you
would
should
be
have been there to begin with.
Lagunitas,
Yeah, I do
cause
too.
they have that theater, that outdoor theater. I don't know if that would be something you guys would wanna do though.
yeah.
I don't think
Little
they do
bit of
donations
risk.
on Sunday.
Okay, so
Okay, so
summarize that tomorrow.
So,
I move we pitch this to the outreach committee.
okay. It's you, me, and you. Okay. And then we need to secure the date.
Yeah,
If we're gonna
with
meet
the Mystic,
with
yeah.
Mystic, yeah. But we need to secure with a little different contract this time.
You need to know what, you need to bargain.
Well, in our contract,
We will.
we'll lock in pricing.
Yes. Cause that's what basically was one of our
Yeah,
issues is.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Little
should be
bait
able
and
to be
switch
right
it felt
there.
like.
Okay,
Sounds good. Is That it?
A motion to adjourn.
I,
Alright. There's a motion to adjourn, is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Alright.
That's
Alright.
Thanks everyone for being here.